These fishermen are throwing their nets into Mida Creek lagoon for the 5th time. One of them, Katana Gona, has a wife and 26 children to feed.
We used to go out and catch 60 to 70 kilograms of fish. I earned enough to support my family for 3 or 4 days by selling them. But now, I go fishing all day, and I catch barely 3 or 4 kilos, and sometimes I catch nothing.
Other fishermen have caught the juvenile fish in the lagoon with mosquito nets. And high tide no longer brings enough other fish to feed a family. Today, there's just one fish in the net, and it's poisonous. In the open sea in front of Mida Creek, a coral reef protects the lagoon from the breaking waves. Marine researchers at the international environmental organization A-ROCHA have been collecting data on fish stocks and the growth of the corals. Most coastal residents have little idea of how much the reef and lagoon depend on each other. So the organization is also teaching children from neighboring villages about environmental protection. Stanley Baya explains the interplay within this ecosystem.
That are here are helping to stop. So there is a balance here. Every part depends on the other. The mangroves are protected from being eroded by the coral reef here. Then the mangroves also protect the coral reef because sand that would come from the land being washed away by rain does not reach the corals because the mangrove roots holds it, traps it. So it doesn't damage the coral in the end there. Huh? You know that.
At low tide, there are sponges, starfish, and crabs to discover and touch. That way, the children learn to protect their resources.
We target the parents of the students. That is the adults, the fishermen, the farmers with environmental education. But we also focus on the students so that we build sustainability for the future. They will grow knowing how important this ecosystem is.
In the afternoon, the tide comes in, and with it, water, fish, mussels, and crabs flow into the lagoon. 19-year-old Kahindi Gona, the fisherman's son, goes to secondary school. He's one of 130 pupils from the lagoon whose education is being paid for by A-ROCHA.
Being sponsored was a very good thing to me because my parents were not able to produce the school fees. That's why I felt happy.
The authentic setting to a story.
Kahindi plans to take his final exams in 3 years. Most of these students don't want to hunt or fish for a living. Like him, they want to go to university. In the evening, the Gona family members meet in front of their huts. Kahindi tells them about the history paper he wrote in school. His father talks about the lack of fish.
I would like to be a teacher to proceed with the education of my brothers and sisters, so that they can also be educated.
There's no fish for supper tonight. They hope the catch in Mida Creek will be better tomorrow.